tonight's preview slash Thursday night game reaction, Sunday night talk show is here. The NFL season started tonight. So me and co-host Omar Carmona launch our 5th season of the Sunday Night Talk. Now, this is the preview show. We discuss what we saw, and we kind of bounce around some ideas for our world-famous categories for the Sunday night show. Baltimore, Kansas City was tonight. What a way to start the NFL season. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do so. I got stand-up comedy clips on there. I got sports shows on there, not to mention my past shows as well. Go back and check them out. It's all up there. So let's get into it. Why delay? The Sunday Night Talk Thursday edition preview show starts right now. All right, this is the Sunday Night Talk. It's Thursday. We just watched the season opener.
Big game, big start to the season.
That's right. So we're going to talk about the game. Omar is here, my trusty partner, for our 5th or 6th year that we've done this.
Yeah, it's gone by fast, man.
We're going to talk about the game we just watched, and then we're going to go over the categories like we do for every show, because we're going to go through a little bit of a what we should keep, what we should not keep, and we can come up with a list for what we're going to discuss as our awards for this coming Sunday night. So, Omar, Thursday night, the season opener, Baltimore at Kansas City. It feels a little weird on my end that I'm watching a game in Kansas City. The game starts, it's nighttime, and it's about 105 degrees here in Los Angeles today.
That's crazy.
It was not football weather for me today, and I got to be honest, I didn't fully invest myself in this game. I just had it on in the background, just as a little bit of like, have it on, appetizer, get used to the new names. It's the first day of school.
It was an exciting game. I think, again, I mean, doesn't the NFL just luck out? You know, it's the, the Chiefs began their quest for a three-peat, which would be unprecedented. And on top of that, you got, you're going through a banner ceremony, and you got Travis Kelce with a new haircut. You got an energized Lamar Jackson, playing good football, although, there was a costly fumble there, and then on top of all that, you get Taylor Swift in a box,
Looking really good. Yep.
It's the NFL's back.
Yeah. You really feel it's back. And I thought like it was all hands on deck. I don't know what Chris Collinsworth was told before the show, but he was in playoff mode, Chris Collinsworth. Right. He was excited, and it made me really think like, you know what, who the secret MVP of that team is really Tirico, because he really lets Collinsworth cook when he needs to. Right. They don't step on each other's lines. Tirico is making little jokes. Tirico also might be ageless too. Like he's not like old, our grandpa old. He's not young guy. He's really, really vital to that Collinsworth team. I thought they were really good too. And then, like you said, we got a great game. But I mean, let me ask you this. The only question I could think of was Baltimore good tonight, or did Kansas City let them back in the game, do you think? Or it could be both. I will accept both.
Kansas City, I think they're going to have some problems on the defensive side of the ball. They didn't look all particularly great, especially that first drive. The Ravens came out and just ran it right down their throats. And then they just couldn't put the Ravens away, and then the Ravens just hanging around all night, and then they make a comeback, and I believe that if that foot lands in and that's ruled a touchdown, they're going for 2 and they're winning it with Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. Harbaugh was giving the 2 signal. So it was the greatest. It was the greatest thing ever because we got to see what they were going to do. Of course, they overruled it, but like we got to see, they were going to go for 2. And right away I was like, oh, hell yeah, go for 2. Let's end this game tonight. No overtime.
I think for John Harbaugh, that's a no-brainer. I think I would have been shocked had he kicked it.
Yeah, and it's almost like because we got so burned last year in the Super Bowl with overtime, it's like, let's not mess with overtime. There's too much left to chance with overtime. If you score the touchdown and you can tie it or win it with 2, go for 2. Don't leave it to chance. with overtime. So I loved it when he put up the two fingers. I was like, let's go. Let's end the game
I
now.
liked it, yeah.
And
But
plus I was like, there's too much football. Like, let's let me pace myself. There's a lot of games to watch. So there was that as well. Great fun game, but I got a little bit of like, hey, isn't this a repeat of what was it, the AFC Conference Championship last year where the Ravens went to sleep in the middle of the game?
right,
And I
yeah.
was like, oh, and then Lamar really looked like a different Lamar tonight. Maybe it's the time off, but I was like, this Lamar is like clapping, pumping people up. Skinny Lamar looks dangerous, Omar. I don't know if he's going to get injured by week 6, but I thought this was a totally different Lamar than I've seen in the past. Leadership Lamar.
Definitely, and I think he's in mid-season form already. I
Yeah.
think he ran for like 100, 20 something yards maybe. He looked great.
He looked great. That rookie, or who's that guy that caught the touchdown pass? Isaiah Likely
Likely.
falls on his chest or something 2 plays earlier and then comes back in and then catches the would-be touchdown that gets overturned. But that was amazing by him. I'm looking at his stats right now. 11 receptions, 111 yards. Lamar Jackson went 16 for. No, Lamar Jackson. Is this right? Lamar Jackson had 122 rushing yards.
Yeah. Yeah, he
That's
ran the ball
amazing.
really well.
He looked great. It just seems like they took a little nap in the middle of this game, and I feel like they're going out of this game saying like, "Hey, we're all right. We just went on the road,
I know it
opening
only got
game.
him
We're
a
back."
field goal, but he gave that he fumbled the ball. What was that in
Hmm.
the third quarter? And that was a costly turnover.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, I think that's second. I think maybe in the
That was
second quarter. I'm sorry.
earlier,
It
and it
was
led
yeah,
to
it
three.
was the second quarter.
Yeah, that led to three. Where were you on the deep pass that Lamar throws, and they don't clock it? They run a play, which the play took a long time too,
Uh,
because
I don't know I don't know how I feel about that one. I'm not gonna second guess.
yeah, I would have liked them to clock it.
Yeah,
They
I think
lose it
so too.
down.
But Harbaugh's gonna go for it, and Lamar's gonna go for it.
Well, I just don't like when they rush to the line. I wonder how much communication they have and they can get a good play. Because
Look,
who's calling the play at that point? The coaches or Lamar? I don't know.
maybe Lamar. Lamar's gonna be aggressive because look, you gotta believe that the window at some point is gonna be closing on Lamar. To pass Mahomes.
Hmm.
To what do you think? I mean, I think he's going to be more aggressive than he wants to win now. He wants to win now. So if he sees
Yeah.
a shot, he's going to take it.
Yeah, maybe he saw a shot. You're right. Um, well, they run the play. They don't clock it. It's incomplete. 10 seconds are left on the clock. So would you rather have um, second down with 10 seconds or second down with 20 seconds?
Yeah, it's a great point. Yeah.
Yeah, because they run the play, they set up. The play took like 5 seconds. And then the other critique is Lamar missed two
Oh, well,
touchdown
Lamar missed that
passes.
shot in the back of the end zone. I mean,
Well, he missed the one before too, where he overthrew the guy.
oh yeah,
That
he overthrew Likely, which almost got him hurt. And
right, that
then
was the one he got hurt on.
but then to miss Flowers in the back of the end zone wide
Hmm.
open.
That was a tough one, tough way to go. And had they not had the catch overturned, I think he feels worse about how that game ended. It was an interesting series down the stretch. Time
Yeah,
management for the first game to have it come down to a 2-minute drill. I thought the Ravens were excellent.
yeah,
I really
agreed.
did. And I don't even think I saw a lot, like we saw penalties in this game. I don't think we saw a lot of drop balls. Was interesting. Receivers were on it
They
tonight as
were.
well. That was impressive. Like we had a playoff game at week 1 on a Thursday.
Right.
Two great, I mean, those are two great teams, two great organizations, and a great way to kick it off. That was a lot of fun. And like I said, I just kind of intermittently jumped in and watched it. I really didn't sit down and watch this game because there's so much football coming up. And we learned there's a game tomorrow in Brazil or something.
Tomorrow in Brazil, it just doesn't end.
Yeah, I had no idea that that was even going on. So strange. That will be interesting to watch. I like that it's week 1 of the season that they have in this out of country game. That makes more sense to me. Like, let's have it now, and then everybody come back to the States, and you don't have to worry about traveling overseas in the middle third of the season. I'll give it to the NFL on that. Better scheduling
Yeah, for
than
sure.
before. Yeah. Um, the three-peat. It seems like that's the biggest story in my head. Why has nobody discussed the three-peat over the offseason? Is it
It's
not a
going to
good
be a
story?
topic. That offense is good. That offense is they have special athleticism. I mean, they have
Mm-hmm.
what's that? What's the hip way of saying it? They have stupid athleticism,
Yeah.
to have Worthy, Pacheco, I mean, these guys are just, Rice. These guys are burners,
Who's
and
that new rookie for Kansas City today that played really, really
Worthy,
well? That's
Worthy.
worthy. Okay, I wasn't sure.
The fact
Yeah,
maybe arguably he may give Cheetah Tyreek Hill a run for his money as fastest player in the league.
yeah, he came in and produced a lot. I mean, Kelsey was good today. That other tight end was
He was
really good
good.
today.
So I mean,
Yeah.
when you're deep like that, and I mean, you got Pacheco, who's now become an I mean, he's an exceptional running back, wouldn't you say?
Mm-hmm.
And so I just think that top to bottom, I hope Edwards Alaire, I know he's struggled with some issues lately, but I, if these guys get going, it's going to be a real conversation that they're in the three-peat. Now, I do have
Mm-hmm.
some teams we're going to talk about that I'm going to throw out that I think can, you know, beat them. And the Ravens team may be a team,
Mm-hmm.
The Ravens team is tough, so don't be surprised if they play each other again, in the playoffs, possibly in Arrowhead, and the Ravens are in the same situation where they have a chance to win the game.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna go against each other again. Some point of the season, he'll get them at Baltimore, and then the playoffs will be crucial to where who's home, who's away. It's a long ways away. We don't know injuries or anything, but the three-peat. I mean, I looked it up. I tried to look up other teams that had a three-peat chance throughout history. In the NFL, it's never happened. A three-peat has never happened. Do you know how many
Never
teams?
happened.
Yeah, do you know how many teams have won back-to-back Super Bowls?
I can do this. I can do this, Pat.
Okay, let's see. Let's see what you
All right.
got.
I want to go the Packers were the very first team to do it because they won the first two.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go with the Steelers did it twice,
You got that right.
or, or,
Steelers have won
or,
back to back twice.
when they won theirs. The Niners did it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the Cowboys did it in the mid '90s.
Correct.
And of course the Patriots have done it.
Correct
They've
again.
done it twice. They've done it twice.
Just once. New England's won back to back just once.
Oh really? Oh yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. You're right. I
Yeah.
knew
Back
that.
to back. Yeah.
Back to back. You're right. Um, give me a second. I
Well, you got KC. There's
oh, then
two
the
more on
KC,
this.
then
Yeah,
then
KC, of course.
KC.
You got that. There's two more on the list.
There's two more on the list. Oh, the Broncos with Elway won two in a row.
Correct?
Oh man, give me a second here.
Mm.
Oh, this is a good one. It
Yep.
was it was it the it was not the Cowboys, the other Cowboys.
You already said the
No,
Cowboys. Oh
I
yeah.
wasn't the other. Yeah, I wasn't the other Cowboys
Oh,
squad.
there. Nope.
Um, I do not. The Raiders never did it.
Nope.
The Dolphins, the 72 Dolphins,
You
the
got it.
73 team. Yeah.
Yep, you got it. Yeah, Green Bay, Miami, Pittsburgh twice, San Francisco, Dallas, Denver, New England, and now KC. So I'm a little surprised that 8 teams have won back-to-back Super Bowls, and it's interesting that nobody is three-peated. This could be historic, and maybe
I mean, I know, but look at the hat I'm wearing. Oh, that was the Niners. They're a Joe Montana injury.
yeah, the Leonard Marshall hit.
A
Hmm.
costly Roger Craig. I mean, a Mr.
Oh
Dependable.
yeah,
Roger Craig fumbled, and that's what really did the game. Roger Craig's fumbles what ended it. Really, just got the
yeah,
Giants back in it, but that was a close one. I think the Niners would
yeah,
have beat the Bills.
yeah, because they would have went against the Bills. That's right. In '90, was that '90? And
Yeah.
that I wonder what team got the closest of these back-to-back
Okay,
teams.
I would say that was close.
That's close. It got to the conference. No team has even got to the Super Bowl to attempt the three-peat.
Yeah, that's
So
never
there's
been.
that. So this is totally historic, and maybe it's just our culture, whereas like we just like we needed sensational stories over the summer to talk about, and there was plenty of them, but it almost works in the Chiefs' favor, whereas like they're not inundated with three-peat talk at all, and now they can just focus on the season. So it's
You
my
know,
storyline and no one else's.
Roger Goodell would love nothing more than a three-peat under his watch.
Mm,
That would really establish the Patriots dynasty. I mean, I
or
argue,
Chiefs.
I mean, sorry, the Chiefs dynasty.
Hmm.
Would you say they're dynasty now? I think
Yeah, yeah. Like how many have they won? Two and
they
the
won
one, so they
three.
won three now. Yeah,
They
all
won
under
three,
Mahomes,
right?
all
And
under Andy
and he's
Reid.
still a young quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
Yeah, I
veteran.
would. If Mahomes say wins the Super Bowl this year, like we're talking about him, we're making the argument him or Brady. I think
He's going to be
yeah,
in Brady
we're
territory,
gonna be talking
and
like
and
that.
and if you look at their numbers side by side at this point in Mahomes' career, as opposed to Brady in that same point in his
Yeah.
career, Mahomes is a superior statistical quarterback.
Hmm. Yeah, he
Superior.
is, and he's got the element of this third portion of his game where he can run the ball and create, whereas Brady was a different type of player. And there's no signs of Mahomes really at any point where he needs to change himself. Not yet. Like he's not old Brady anymore, where he had to find a way to stay in the pocket and not get hit.
And
Mahomes
that's
doesn't
and
seem
that's
to
I
have
think
that
that's
at
the
all.
argument to make. What I think makes Brady the GOAT is he proved that he can win late in his career.
Hmm.
Not using the same physical attributes he had from before. Not that he wasn't a physical. I mean, nobody's going to question the shape Tom Brady, kept his body throughout his entire career.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying it's not. It's still, the hits take a toll. I
Yeah.
mean, it hurts.
His
And
game
so
was different. You're right.
I
And
think
then
I
we can
think Brady
argue.
Brady
Go ahead.
enters that GOAT status because he did it into the twilight of his career.
Hmm.
And just like Michael Jordan was, if it wasn't for that stop in Washington, Michael Jordan wins his last game as a Chicago, as part of the Chicago Bulls. So
Yeah.
I think that's where you get GOAT status, just what you did throughout your career. But I
Yeah,
don't
that's a
I
good.
think at this point in his career, Mahomes is the GOAT through this point in his career.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. I mean, I think like when it comes to making the GOAT argument, I think we almost need a checklist. Like what did you do early in your career? What's that defining win? Where's the comeback win? What's the comeback like what's the adversities? Because you talk Brady, it's that Atlanta 28-3 comeback. It's
Right?
that winning a Super Bowl with another team are just huge monumental markers for Brady as being the
Right.
best. Like what is this middle part of Mahomes' career gonna bring us? And as a fan, it's gonna be fun to watch because there's no controversy with Mahomes. Like there's no Brady versus Belichick talk. Nothing yet anyway. He just seems
No.
so solid of a player. Like all the controversies just happen around him, and he's just the steady rock on the team. And
Right.
it's just purely performance, meritocracy with Mahomes. Like no one debates is this guy great? Is he super great? Is he like it's just yes. The answer is yes in all those
Absolutely.
all those questions right now. So I'm with you. We're going to be talking about a lot of Mahomes this year. I mean, this is a team on the brink of history. Like it's week
It
one, but
really is. We could be watching a historical run.
yeah.
And
Well, the
and
49er comparison's really good because remember the 49ers going into that third Super Bowl run was Joe Montana's team. He's the best ever. Who's going to stop him? And
right, and it
I
took and
think
it
we
took
can say
and
the
it took
same thing
Jeff
about the
Ho- and
Chiefs.
it took Jeff Hostetler with with a historical defense.
Yeah. And I remember the Raiders traded for Jeff Hostetler
Yeah,
later.
they got them. Yeah, Al Davis wanted to win now, and he thought it was Jeff Hostetler that was going to
we
get him there.
we had to see if we could wring that rag out for any more bit of liquid coming out of it.
Who,
Yeah.
what was going on with the quarterback situation then? I remember Vince Evans was playing in those years.
Raiders quarterbacks?
Yeah, Jay Schrader was
Jay
probably
Schrader was late 80s. Vince Evans was a backup. I think there was
we
a Mark Wilson or something
we
in
also I think remember they drafted Todd Marinovich at some point.
that was 90, I believe. Like he was after whoever and that totally fell apart. It was we've had a lot of QBs. Like I saw some Instagram thing. I don't know what Raider QB they were talking about, but they did like a quick Rolodex of QBs leading up to him. I think it was 13 quarterbacks. Like there was a Matt Flynn in there. There was a Terrell Pryor. I was like, oh my God, I forgot Carson Palmer was a Raider. Jesus Christ, you go through a lot of quarterbacks over the years if you have bad teams. It was rough. There was a Jeff George in there. Oh my
Did you guys
God.
ever have Kerry Collins?
Kerry Collins was in there as well.
Good.
Yep, Kerry Collins was a good one.
Culpepper spent
Oh
time there.
yeah. Jesus, I forgot. Like we need a reunion of Raiders QBs and it's just going to be like 50 people show up to the banquet hall. Be like, "You were on this team?" "Oh yeah, man. Remember that? Oh 02." Yep. That was some dark years, Omar. We had a lot of QBs going on for us there. Well, NFL season, I want to talk one more thing before we get into our category selection show. I think this is going to be a big year for the NFL Sunday ticket. I pulled the trigger. I got it. Last year,
Good.
not everybody went with it. Everybody was like skeptical. And I think it's going to be huge this year. Everybody realizes like if you want to watch your team, you cannot have something that doesn't have access. You
Well, here's the
need
thing.
you need Sunday ticket.
This is where I'm just a little skeptical, for the fan. It's going to get to the point though that every streaming service is going to want one game a week. You know what I mean? And then now it's like you're kind of putting the people in a situation where they're going to have to, it's a lot of money to stream for some people, and
Yeah.
and I just think that I know that the NBA's come under a lot of fire lately because they've basically every day, every night of the week there's going to be NBA and it's going to be streamed on a different platform and so now you got to wonder like I know everybody's got to get rich and all that but at some point let's be gentle on the fans, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, NFL Sunday Ticket is not cheap. It's just more accessible now
Yeah,
because
exactly. No, no,
you don't have
no.
you don't have to have
Because of the
DirecTV.
bulk that you're buying with the ticket, that to me, I don't mind so much. I think the NFL has every, you know, they got to sell their product. I'm just talking about like having to like if you give like Peacock one game only a week, it's
Hmm.
like well people are gonna want to stream that,
Yeah,
and
Amazon has got Thursday nights. Yeah, that's
Amazon's
another.
gonna get theirs. I don't be surprised that when Paramount gets theirs, uh,
Yeah.
in
Uh,
affiliation with
don't
CBS
don't think Netflix. I heard a thing. Netflix is
Netflix
in the running for getting that Christmas
and
game.
then Hulu's gonna want to get in on
Yeah.
it, and
Well, it's
then
got to be the big money. And I think, yeah, we're talking those Netflix, that Paramount, something like that. It's like, hey, well, we don't want the whole season, but we want one playoff game. Give us a wild card game. Give us the Christmas game. Netflix was in the running for the Christmas game.
it's so crazy, Pat. Like we're done. I mean, like I don't. I mean, who still has the Direct TV nonsense? You know what I mean? I
Right.
don't.
Yeah. It seems like DirecTV is going the way of Sirius XM. I asked myself, like, why would anybody pay for Sirius XM? It was forever, it was Stern, but Sirius XM, we all have music on our phones. It's free
Right.
on our phones. We don't need this anymore. It'll be interesting to see where those legacy media types go or how they evolve because remember we did this with Blockbuster Video back in the day. It was like, well,
Right.
who's going to replace them? Like, well, technology has outpaced them, and you either have to evolve or you go the way of Blockbuster Video. And it just will the market respond to it? Like, at some point, does the NFL fan say, like, dude, I can't watch Sunday, Thursday, Sunday, Monday? You're putting a year like when does the
Patrick,
NFL fan
we
get
are.
fatigue?
Think about it. They're stretching it. There's talks that by in a few years we're gonna have one less preseason game
Hmm.
and then do an extra regular season game.
Yeah.
So that will eventually put us in President's Day territory. So we finally get that 3-day weekend, Super Bowl, which
Yeah.
I think has been on everyone's dream, which would be bigger than everyone else's own birthday, as far as I'm
Right.
concerned.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, it definitely would. I mean, the Super Bowl will have officially reached holiday status at
yeah,
that point.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And
Well,
and
my question is just
And
as a
so at that point,
product.
Patrick, now instead of adding an extra week, instead of giving people like an extra bye week, you can do the schedule where you have games just running perpetually on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, you're like, it's like a mini NF, it's a mini NBA season. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Well, that's my question. When we branch out to another day a week, like is the crowd gonna respond to that? Like, what are the ratings gonna look like? Because I don't know if you
Patrick,
can
once,
do during the week. I mean, we've seen it
once
with the Thursday games get perpetually the lowest ratings of all the games.
Right. But once that happens, once they dominate all 7 nights of the week, oh man, it's over. I mean, it's over.
Well, I
You're gonna
don't.
have
Are you the belief that it's a good idea or a bad idea?
it's a bad idea,
Oh,
but
okay. I
like
wasn't sure. Yeah, I'm in
I'm just no,
agreement.
it's a bad idea because we're gonna lose a lot of tradition, I think, in the NFL,
Hmm.
all for the sake of earning a dollar.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I agree. I think we got to keep it to a third. I've officially, Thursdays in our lives. We've accepted
I
that over the
don't I
last
don't like an
thing.
odd number regular season. That I don't
No,
like.
me
I don't
too.
like a
Yeah.
17. I like an even number, Patrick.
Right.
Am I
Yeah. If you say like we went 8-8, I can like wrap my head around that. When you go 8-9, I'm like, oh, well, 8-9. Oh, right, 17 games. I'm
right?
with you. In even
That
numbers, better.
I need an even number. I need even statistics. I need to view my seasons in
Hmm.
actual quarters. You know,
Yeah, that's better. All baseball's even, basketball's even.
come
I think
on.
I think we'll change it, and I'd be okay with going back to 16. Just a nice round
When you really
number.
think about it, Patrick, the way these preseason games are run and whatnot, you might as well get rid of one more game. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Well, I intentionally skipped the entire preseason. There's nothing interesting to me
There's
about
nothing
preseason football.
there. No way.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's, I mean, get rid of one. You could say it's for player safety or whatever, and get rid of one of them. And I'd be okay with that. So the NFL is going to evolve. And then, like, I didn't think about this. Like, Goodell would secretly, not secretly, I'm not giving him his credit. Goodell, at the end of his tenure, would say, like, look how much I've grown the NFL. And you would have to say, Goodell, I'm going to give you some credit. You did a good job commissioning this team. Not only did you grow the league, increase revenue, you were also a great scapegoat for all the controversies. Because, like,
Yep.
concussions, Ray Rice, it's Goodell's fault. Bounty Gate was Goodell's fault, not the NFL. It's Goodell's fault. He was a great scapegoat for the NFL. He fell on the sword many, many times. So, Goodell, you might be the best commissioner the NFL's ever seen.
Absolutely. And I think he really has grown it.
Yeah.
I think he had good mentorship in Paul Tagliabue. Um, but he has grown it. And the fact that he's pissed off some people. There's no doubt about
Yeah. Yeah. You don't do
He's
that job without making some enemies.
no,
Let's
he's gone to war with the crafts, he's
mm-hmm.
gone to
The
war,
owners.
I'm sure he and Jerry Jones, have had their
The Dan
ups and
Snyder
downs.
era was horrendous.
you know, uh, and other, oh, absolutely, Patrick. I mean, absolutely. The whole, and any time there's a sexual assault and the crimes that, some of, the rugs, something like that happens,
Mm-hmm.
a DUI, the Aaron Hernandez thing. It's like, you at some point you got to go tell the boss, hey man, like what kind of people you letting in here,
Right. Yeah.
Um, so it
And
hasn't
like
been easy, it hasn't been easy. But he's managed to also keep peace as far as the labor. I know there was a time, maybe was it maybe 2011, 2010, and there was like
yeah,
a
when
late
was
start.
that? Yeah, I
There
remember
was
that.
there was some serious stoppage. There was also the referee strike, which
Yeah, remember
is a
that?
black guy on the league. But
Mm-hmm.
aside from that, it's he's managed to keep the peace for the most part. Um,
Yeah.
I'm sure not all owners are happy with him. But I would say the overwhelming majority are, only because he's made everyone a ton of money. And at the end of the
Yeah.
day, you don't have to like the guy, but he's made you a shitload of money.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. This is a thankless job. The job is to grow the company, and he has done that. There's been a lot of bumps along the way, and ultimately the NFL comes out looking good because you can always blame Goodell, and
And
some of
it's
the
so
fault is worthy to him. But you're
and
right, the NFL always comes up looking like roses.
it's so unfair also when like oh, you're protecting the Patriots. Well, you know what? He's got to protect the shield at the end of the day. I wouldn't
Yeah.
say that he's protecting the Patriots. He's protecting the product, you
Hmm.
know? And he sometimes has to realize that even he has to realize that protecting the Patriots ultimately protects the product, you
Yeah.
know?
Well, he went after the Patriots as well,
And then and then
deflate
and
gate
then they
stuff, and
faulted him for going after the
yeah.
Patriots, you know?
So yeah, you can't win to some degree. I think he's navigated it fairly well over the last years, and just the influx of technology, they have done really, really well with it. I think it's something the NBA could take a page from is how can I make
Yeah.
this game more accessible to fans? It's interesting. The funny part for me, last point before we do the categories, is it's funny that people still go to these games. Ticket prices are so expensive. You go to a football game, it's kind of hard to follow the game. The best way to watch football is on TV because you can see the downs, you can see the replays, you can see their faces. It's funny that attendance is still way up for, I would say, a majority of teams. Games sell out. It's hard to get tickets. Tickets are expensive. Everything is humming with the NFL.
Right.
I mean, I would think we're due a lull at some point, but it's not anytime soon. People still
Right.
love games. They showed that image of all the cars waiting to go into the Kansas City Stadium parking lot for
Yeah.
tailgating. They're there in the morning waiting for the lot to open. They just cannot wait. So everything's humming for the NFL. We're primed for a
Yep.
really, really fun season. I can't wait for Sunday. I got Sunday ticket. I'm ready. Even though I'm cautious about my Raiders, I'm ready, Omar. I'm ready now.
You gotta be ready. At this point, you gotta be ready.
I got an appetizer today. So, all right. So, the last 5 years, we've always done categories in the form of awards every week. People love the categories, Omar. So,
Love the
this year,
categories.
we're changing it up a little bit. We're going to keep
Okay.
some categories we know and love. We're going to add some ones that we think will be an addition, and we'll get rid of some fat as well in the categories. So I wrote down a bunch of them. Let's just see what you think as I go down the list here. Number one, I think the best category, who won the week? We always give an award for who came out the best this week in the NFL. It can be a player, it's a coach, it's a commercial. I think we gave it to a home field one time.
Right? Oh yeah.
Who won the week stays. Am I right?
That's an automatic.
Okay, I'm going to put a check mark by who won the week. All right. Next one, we've done this one before. Favorite moment of the week. This is kind of like our, what you liked the most, what caught your eye, what was the marquee thing of this week, this Sunday in the NFL that we liked. Like the favorite moment is a good one
Okay.
too.
I
So,
like that. I like that. But then you gotta follow it up with something cringeworthy.
well, that's my next one. We got the cringeworthy
There you
award of the
go.
week. We've done that one before, so I say we keep that one because that one's a fun one that you can play around with, because I think one week, I think I gave myself the cringeworthy award, so that can do a lot. All right, okay, new one I'm going to throw at you. New award. This one is called Most Memeable Moment for the week.
Okay.
Like, this is something that you could see a meme becomes of later in the week. So my example would be like, how Aaron Rodgers would always do the belt thing
Okay.
when he would score? It's like, that would be a memeable moment. I was like, that's my
Okay. I
meme.
like that. I
You
do
know,
like that.
and you
Like
could be like, yeah,
a
you
view
could,
from the stand, from the a press box or something like that.
yeah, yeah. Like, kind of like if you're on a text thread and then one of your buddies asks you, hey, did you pick up the 6-pack of beer? And you just respond in text with the meme. You could do something with it like that. So I got most memeable moment. You like that one. All right. Where do you stand on the Sunday double feature. This was what movie you would want to watch after the Sunday slated games.
But we would we compare it to what we just saw? Like as far as the
Yeah,
game?
yeah. This is kind of like what game we just watched, the Sunday we just had. What movie are you gonna flip on, having gone through this Sunday? That's the Sunday double feature. So we're
Yeah,
like, oh,
I
this
like
one.
that one. Leave that one.
Okay, leave that one. So far, all these are hitting. All right, next potential award. This one's called the Montage Award. You know how, like, in every good movie, there's a montage of them, like, training, or in the movie Rudy when they're doing the drills, doing the ropes course. So, Montage Award. You could give a montage award to something you saw during the day. That's an addition there. What do you think about something called the Montage Award? A little more thought, I think, has to go into this one.
Yeah, that may be a little too much thought.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think if I were to give a montage to today's game, I have to do some thinking. Like what would it be? All right, I'm gonna put a maybe by that one.
Okay.
All right. This is akin to the Montage Award. What if we change it to the Soundtrack Award? Give a little soundtrack to anything you saw this Sunday. Say you were shopping for wings for your Sunday party, and you gave yourself a taking care of business
Oh, so
soundtrack
that guy, I guess
while.
like I had Metallica, I had some Eminem. I was playing the blues because the Niners were about to, yeah, yeah, I could do that.
Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah, yeah. Okay, a little bit more on the nose with the soundtrack award.
Yeah,
Okay.
more on the mood.
All right. Here's another new one. The announcer award. Any announcer, anything is eligible for this that you saw during the day. Whether you want to throw out a Romo
Or
quote.
maybe the call of the week, maybe.
Oh, call of the day, call of the week could be
Yeah,
changed. Yeah, I don't
yeah,
know exactly what the announcer or call of the week is, but I feel like I'll know it when I see it.
right. I like
Everything.
that.
Okay, that's a may. I'm gonna give out a strong maybe on that one. Okay, next potential, best location award. I don't think we've done anything quite geological like this before, so we could give it
That's
to
I know
us.
what you mean by it, so let's put that as a maybe.
Okay, maybe on that one. All right, next one, casting couch. So in the past, we've done the Tom Cruise Award, stuff like that. We have the Sunday double feature. But what about casting couch? You get to cast anybody during your Sunday with any actor. What do you think about that? Or is that too close to the Sunday double feature?
I think that's too close to the double feature.
Okay. I thought you could go either way on that one. I'm going to give that one an X. All right. Next award. We've done this one a million times before. Best quote.
The best what?
Best quote.
Wouldn't that also kind of be like in the same call? I don't want to be in a position where I got to remember something,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you
best
know?
quote is anything you heard during the day that was I don't know. I don't remember us struggling with best quote in the past though, do you?
No, I guess we can put it as a maybe.
Okay, wow, surprising. Best quote goes in the maybe category. All right. Next one. Best play call. Any play call. What do you think about adding that to the list?
How about
Like what will we do tonight? I'm trying what would be best
how
play call?
about biggest play call? Because that could also mean a blunder.
Okay. Change it
I want to
to
give the possibility, or let's get clever with that one, because the possibility of a bad play, like man, why would he go for two in that? Why would he decline that penalty? Why would
okay.
he spike it? You know?
So maybe we just call this kind of coach's corner or
Yeah, I mean
something.
or Monday morning quarterback.
Okay, I'm going to call this coach's call. We'll come back to that one. All right, two more. We got the hot take award. I think that one stays. That one's a lot of fun.
Or we're just
I'm gonna,
yeah, we're just basically saying our own hot take though, right?
yeah, this is our we get to make a hot take for the week.
Okay.
And then last one, Best Innovation Award. We did this one last year, and I think we got pretty creative with this one a bunch of times. I liked it. What'd you think of Best Innovation Award?
I did that was fun. That was fun.
Okay, yeah, keep it. All right, let's keep that one.
Because
Um,
that's a wide array.
yeah,
We talked
it,
about the tush push. We've done the
mm-hmm,
camera on the line. In
right.
midfield.
Yeah, it was
Um,
microphones on the field one week.
the roof, the retractable roof. We've done.
Yeah, yeah, we and somewhere around week 8, I don't even think we even included football in some of our innovations. So it's completely
Or
open
we can
to
even. I think
interpretation.
maybe we can. Let's also leave it a possibility of something we want to get rid of.
Oh, okay. The
Or
elimination
maybe
award?
let's talk innovation point, innovation court or something like that. Something
Okay.
where it's like, hey man, like this, this whole because what if it's, because I think at some point the NFL wants to basically get electronic or let AI do the first
Oh, the
down markers,
chains?
the chains, yeah.
Huh.
And that's
Innovation
going to be
award.
crazy. When that happens, that's going to be crazy.
Yeah, that will be. I don't know how they would do, but I mean there'll be a way. There definitely would be a way. Okay, so innovation award, but along those lines, some sort of elimination award, something to get rid of
Yeah,
as
something.
well. Okay. Or maybe we could take that one week by week and say like, is there anything did you wanted to eliminate this week? And maybe you have something one week and not another. So maybe we could be loose with that
Right.
as well. Okay. So I've got I got 8 for sure's and 5 maybes to decide. So maybe we'll play around with it come week 1 and see what our final list of award tallies are going to be. It's like our list for the Oscars. Sometimes they eliminate awards over the course of the Oscars. So we're going to play around with it for week 1 and see what we come up with. And then last talking point, what did you think of the new kickoff?
We got. I need a full Sunday with it, Patrick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
But
feels to
I
me.
think we have to talk about that. But let's for sure. I need a Sunday with it.
Yeah, like I thought just like to the normal naked eye, it feels like your screen froze when they're doing it cuz the only guy who moves is the kicker and then the camera starts moving but the two lines don't move. And it seems like the kickoff team would be very advantaged because they can't move till the guy catches the ball. So
Right.
the receivers kind of have their back turned to the ball. The guys kicking off can see, so it seems like they would get the jump on it. And then the ball has to be kicked into some zone like pickleball. I still don't fully understand, and I'm not even trying to understand. I'm just going to try and let this wash over me like a wave, and somehow I'll try and figure this out by week 6 or something. But do we have any kickoff returns tonight? I don't think so.
No, not. I mean, not any special ones.
Yeah, but I think everything was a touchback, right?
No,
Tonight?
there were a couple. There were a
Oh, did
couple.
they actually return it?
Yeah.
It's it's in a way making the punt way more exciting because we actually get to see someone return a kick,
Yep.
whereas the kickoff is not eventful at all. I don't know about this kickoff. I wonder if it's going to stick around past this year or just at some point we just all get used to it and we don't even consider it as different anymore.
Maybe Patrick. I mean, we're maybe one bad injury on one of these kickoffs away. At that point, what else can be done to
Yeah.
make that play safer? I mean, that's going to be like, well, at that point, give them the ball at the 25. Everyone gets the ball at the
Hmm.
25 or the 30, whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Yeah. We're dancing around. Can this game exist without a kickoff? And I, for one, can't imagine it without a kickoff, but modifying it in some way.
Imagine. The Ravens return against the 49ers that one year,
Mhm.
in the Super Bowl. Um,
Yeah.
you know,
Arguably, the most exciting play in an NFL game is a kickoff return for a touchdown.
Devin Hester taking the first kickoff in a losing
Yeah.
effort. Um, you know,
Right. In the Super Bowl.
Taking a out Desmond. I mean, was Desmond Howard? Well, those were punt returns, or it was a kickoff.
I think those were kickoffs. The
Yeah, I
Desmond
mean
Howard
Desmond
ones.
Howard.
Well, look at like how we can rattle these off because they're burned into our memories as these like
Yeah.
awesome plays. I think there was even one in that Denver Atlanta Super Bowl blowout. I think Atlanta had one. That and it just kind of energizes the team for like 15 minutes.
Percy Harvin,
Oh, what was that one? I remember that name.
the Seahawks with the Broncos. They came out. I think what was it? The first the it wasn't opening kickoff. I think it was like the opening kickoff of the second half.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, look at these great kickoff memories that we are never going to have anymore because this new kickoff rule. There's no such thing as a kickoff return.
Yeah, that
Really?
was right. Lewis in the in Baltimore against the Giants. I'm looking at these right here.
Oh yeah,
Sam,
that's right. The Giants Baltimore one had one. That's right.
yeah,
Yeah,
Desmond Howard one, Tim Dwight.
Tim
Uh,
Dwight. That's the Atlanta one, right? That
so
might have been the end of the shifty white guy returner. Remember, like Tim Dwight was running, and you could tell he was trying so hard. Like you could tell he was making full effort. Some guys are smooth. Tim Dwight looked like he was trying his hardest.
right.
Yes. Well, okay, that was Thursday night. Let's just talk our preview for the season. 49ers, you're playing the Jets Monday night.
Monday night.
Aaron Rodgers, take two. I listened to a Brock Purdy podcast, and he's got, I mean, this is another potentially huge year for Purdy. On the field, of course. But did you know he has launched this huge Applebee's endorsement deal this year? And he's got commercials loaded up. This could be a big year for Purdy. Like it's Dan Campbell, Brock Purdy, and I think one other player that is on this huge Applebee's endorsement promotional tour. It's going to be great. This could be huge for Purdy. What do you think? How are you on the guy?
We're gonna have to pay this guy. We got to pay this guy a ton of money.
So
And
you're on
we
board. This is going to be a big year for him.
if he gets the 49ers to a Super Bowl,
Mm-hmm.
okay, without a doubt, he's going to become the highest paid player in NFL history.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Higher than, yeah, okay. If he gets an Irish to a Super Bowl, yeah, okay. I don't think that's so crazy of a statement. This is Brock Purdy has got so many weapons. Coaching staff is solid. He's got this year of experience under him. He seems like a solid guy, too. Like, the reason I say this is a big year for him because I listened to his interview. He's still very reserved of a player. Like, I think a little bit of media training, like one fun interview with him, and he could skyrocket. Like, he could be on the Mahomes list as like, this guy is so personable type of guy. He's got these Applebee's commercials. Like, he could be the State Farm guy next
I
year doing
agree.
commercials with Mahomes if this year goes well. And he just starts to let his personality come out a little
It
bit.
can
Not to mention
happen.
the 49ers are loaded. Going after or following up on the 49ers, I I really give them a little bit of credit in last year's Super Bowl because they had the weird overtime and they had that weird injury to the defensive guy running onto the field as well. I feel like they had a few more hurdles than we acknowledged last year. And then they scapegoated the defensive coordinator and fired him at the end of the Super Bowl. So, Niners, now that the dust settled from the Super Bowl loss last year, where are you on their offseason?
They had to. It was a messy situation with Brandon Ayuk. And then obviously Trent Williams was holding out for more money, and he deserves, I think, every penny he gets. But basically, you make these signings, Patrick, because you have to win a Super Bowl this year. I mean, there is no, for this 49ers team, anything short of a title is a complete and utter failure, and I have to accept that.
Yeah. Yeah, they are one of those teams where like it's Super Bowl or bust. I mean, how many teams are in there for that conversation? I think maybe three, four. San
Right.
Francisco, Kansas City, um, Detroit, maybe. There's not many teams that are this loaded that should be performing at a high level. So,
I got a hot take. I got a hot take.
oh, you want to try out the hot take category for the preview show?
Let's do it now. I got a hot take preview.
Okay, let's hear it. Let's hear this hot take. I'm excited.
Houston Texans will be playing in the Super Bowl this year.
You're on Houston. I've heard a lot of Houston talk.
I,
You
I,
like
I like I
Houston.
like I like I don't like I love what they've done.
Mm-hmm. You love Houston. Okay.
So my
Well,
40 my Super Bowl pick right now has got to be 49ers Texans.
49ers, Texans. That's a fun Super Bowl. New Orleans Super Bowl this year, too, by the way.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Yep.
49ers and Texans.
Mm, okay. Well, okay. I got four teams that just are my head scratchers for the season. I'm just going to rattle them off and you tell me yes or no. All right. You already said Houston. You're a big yes on Houston. Chicago. Yes or no?
You mean playoffs?
No, just do you like Chicago? Yes or
They're
no
gonna
on
be
Chicago? Having a good year.
when I say yes, I don't mean maybe like a playoff team, but I will say yes in the sense that they're gonna be a lot better.
Okay, fair. That's a fair yes. All right, yes or no? The New York Jets.
Yeah, yes.
Wow, yes on the Jets. Are you able to remove yourself emotionally from Aaron Rodgers and judge him on his play? Because I have a lot of people
I will, and I
in
think
my
I
life
think
who can't do it.
he's got a lot of young talent around him, and he's got a chance to make this offense very special. I can't remember the Jets ever having an offense this good. But on paper, hold on, let me
Right.
say we haven't seen them
We
yet
haven't even got through Monday night yet. Yeah.
because last Monday night football game, if I remember correctly, Aaron Rodgers lasted 45 seconds. Um,
That was devastating.
that was terrible. Um, but
On
but
nine
so we
eleven too. Just oh my
but
God.
you know, I hope this lights a match under Josh Allen in Buffalo, and he's another guy. He's got to win now.
I didn't have
He
Buffalo down on my list, but what are you on Buffalo? Yes or no?
I, I'm a no right now. I don't think they have what it takes
Wow.
to pass. I think the Texans are going to pass them uh very quickly.
All right. Next team, yes or no? The Dallas Cowboys.
No, I'm sorry.
Big no?
I'm going to get a lot of hate. I'm going to get a lot of hate from your family and people we know in El Paso. But no, that's a no. They did nothing. They did nothing special. They got Zeke Elliott back in the backfield. I'm not saying he's the
Yeah.
starter, but like things are not good in Dallas, right?
Well, they have great regular seasons. They just never really get
They're not going to
far.
have a regular. They're
And
going to
you're
lose a
no
lot.
on the regular season as well.
No.
Okay, I'm going to put you down for a no. Last team, yes or no? Miami Dolphins. We're like year 4 into the Josh McDaniels experiment. Remember we had beefed up Tua last year? Now he's skinny Tua like Lamar this year? Yes or no? Miami Dolphins.
No.
No on the Dolphins.
No on the
Wow.
Dolphins.
No on the Dolphins. Tough way to end the season last year for them too. That cold game in Kansas City really, really shit the bed.
I think the Jets may win the division this year.
Really? Oh, I'm very surprised. I thought you couldn't remove yourself from your Aaron
I
Rodgers
could. I
hatred.
think I could on
You
this
can.
team. I,
Wow.
they
This
have
is a new
decent
Omar
talent.
Carmona then.
They
Yeah.
have decent talent.
Okay.
And
Excellent.
you may be playing the same clip for us on Sunday, after
Right.
or maybe the following Sunday after the see what the Jets do on their first
Right.
but their first two games of the season. Maybe they start off a big 0-2 because I
Right.
do think as much as I'm praising them, they're gonna lose in San Francisco.
And say they go 0-2, 1-3, 1-4, whatever. One Aaron Rodgers press conference where he's a little angry or gruff. You could flip. I could see your flip, Omar. You get very
Nick
emotional about Aaron Rodgers.
Nick Bosa and Fred Warner live rent free in Aaron Rodgers' head.
Wow. Hot take. All right. Now here's 2 yes or no's on people. Baker Mayfield, yes or no?
I like him. Yes,
He got a playoff win last year, right? Didn't they win a
he
wild
did.
card? Yeah, that's right. They did. And then they lost to Detroit. And then yes or no, Jim Harbaugh.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I'm with
He's
you
a
on the
winner.
yes.
He's a
Show me
winner.
show me any place where he has not succeeded.
He's a winner. The guy's a winner. He's the coach. So I'm gonna say yes. I
Oh, you
what?
stopped yourself. What happened there?
What? How are you? How do you feel? How are you on the Giants?
Oh, no on the Giants. I'm almost borderline no on New York.
Okay.
But
Oh,
yeah, I don't see
Patrick.
anything.
Patrick giving some the Big Apple hate. I don't know
No,
about this.
they just I just haven't seen anything from New
You
York
know,
in
you've
forever.
gone to LA. You've gone to you now you're gonna go to
I be
Chicago. It's
I
like you're kind
become
of
an
you're
LA I
avoiding
become an LA douche.
you're avoiding the Big Apple. I don't know, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're saying I got West Coast bias?
Yeah, I think yeah.
Maybe I do.
But let's see.
It was
And then last one, how are
105
you on the
degrees
Cle
today.
how are you on the state of Ohio? What's going on in Cincinnati and in Cleveland?
Uh, I don't have big hopes for Cleveland. I don't know what Deshaun Watson's plans are. It seems like he's 2.5 years behind where Lamar was. Remember, 2.5 years, Lamar was like holding out, or he didn't play the end of the season, and we're like, are they gonna trade him? We talked about serious Lamar trade at the end of 2 seasons ago, and I think Deshaun Watson is 2 years behind Lamar. So I don't know if Cleveland can compete. That's a tough division. They seem to beat up each other every year. And then who's the other Ohio? Cincinnati. That would be that's an interesting with the Joe Burrow injury. Like I don't know how serious this is or not. Like there's so many quarterbacks that are in no man's land for me this year. Josh Allen, Joe Burrow is one.
Isn't
Aaron
it
Rod
funny? And I don't think the talent's gone away, but it's like, what if, I mean, that's just the media in
right.
this country. It's like there's been a Joe Burrow divorce or maybe a
Yeah.
separation, so to speak. It's like, when he led the team to that Super Bowl against the Rams, he came up short, but it wasn't for a lack of effort or a lack of anything that he was doing wrong.
Yeah.
He was doing everything he could. At the end of the day, Joe Burrow still had to operate under the Cincinnati Bengals owned by the Brown family, and
True.
and and that ownership is just, with all respect to the Brown family, we can't say, we can't overstate how much the Brown family has meant to the NFL, but it's just this particular Brown that owns the Bengals is he just, you know, he hasn't
Yeah.
done much,
It's a huge organization, and you can't put it all on the quarterback. And to piggyback on what you just said, if it's not for Mahomes and that crazy comeback with 13 seconds left against the Bills, that wasn't Josh Allen's fault. Josh Allen is another one where like, okay, what are we doing? Like Burrow, Josh Allen, who am I leaving out? One more youngish quarterback where it's almost like a relationship where like you've been dating for like 8 months and you don't live together yet. And the girl goes, what are we doing? That's what I feel we're at with some of these quarterbacks. Like, all right, if we go 10-7 this year and we go to the wild card and we lose in the wild card, what are we doing? What's the future of this relationship like? I feel like those two are in that boat, in that category of like, are we moving in together? Is there an engagement here? Are we just fucking around? What are we
Right.
doing? And then the answer is like, I don't know. You're like, I don't know. I have to think about this. So we got a lot of questions that we're going to start to answer this Sunday. I'm psyched to try out my new NFL Sunday ticket.
Good. It's gonna be awesome.
All right, that was the preview show. It was Thursday night. Baltimore, Kansas City. Categories were discussed. Omar, I will see you Sunday night for the first Sunday Night Talk. See you, man.
It's gonna be wild, dude. Thank you.